Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Today we are going to be playing with Legacy Soul Sisters. Lucas B, regular patron of the stream, kinda let me do whatever I wanted with this one, and after playing Soul Sisters in Modern last week, I figured, hey, why don't we give it a shot in Legacy as well? So in case you're not familiar with the general name Soul Sisters, it refers to cards like Soul Warden, Soul Attendant, and Essence Warden that all gain you life when they enter the battlefield. And there are some other ones that do this, like Auriok Champion as well, that are a little bit slower. And we are going to use these to fuel creatures that get larger whenever you gain life. And yes, if you control multiple Soul Wardens, you will gain life multiple different times, prompting multiple +1/+1 counters on Ajani, Tresselara, and a new Crimson Vow card, which seems absolutely bonkers to me, Voice of the Blessed. It is an Ajani's Pridemate for white, but if you put 4 counters on it, it has Flying and Vigilance, and if you somehow get 10 on it, it's also indestructible. So this gives us an insane degree of redundancy. So we have 16 life gain enablers, and counting Heliod, which I'll talk about now, we also have 16 life gain payoff cards. So Heliod Sun Crown, every time you gain life, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature or enchantment you control, and you can give something lifelink for 2 mana as well. Essentially, when I put together this deck list, I said, what is combo? I'm going to completely ignore the existence of combo, because we're playing a fun deck today, and I think if I hedge to try to actually realistically beat combo in game 1, I'm going to lose to a decent amount of fair stuff along the way. So kind of the things that I'm doing to make sure that I'm beating fair matchups is, number one, I'm giving myself some interaction. I'm not worried about dying early to something like a Delver of Secrets or a Ragavan. I'm going to have just an absurd amount of life and a bunch of bodies that I can throw in the way of small creatures. So I've relegated the Swords to Plowshares to the sideboard, but I want to make sure that I can beat permanents. I don't want to leave myself just stone cold dead to something like an Ensnaring Bridge, and hence I have Skyclave Apparitions. And the other thing to make sure I get the leg up on the more grindy decks of the format, like say I get paired against something like Painter or Death and Taxes or a Bant Controlless, I wanted to have a couple of endgame haymakers, and I've chosen Collected Company. That is just going to let me trigger my stuff a whole bunch of times and kind of come back after I've one for one a couple of times in a way that's not favorable for me. As far as the sideboard, I've chosen Violence. In the last league that I played, I think I played against 4 artifact decks in a row or something like that, and I got absolutely just bodied by Urza Saga decks. So I am playing a package of Collector Oof Serenity and Cathar Commando to just say screw you to the Urza Saga, like Emery Echo, Painter sort of decks that are pretty popular right now in the queues. I just want to be well prepared for those. Other than that, I've chosen just a couple of Graveyard Hate cards, the Swords to Plowshares that I'm not putting in the deck in game 1, and then Deafening Silence to have something versus combo. Again, this is just kind of a nod towards, all right, maybe some games I will get to do the thing. I'm not super trying to beat combo here. I'm trying to gain a bunch of life and embody some fair decks. That's what I'm here to do today. And, like, maybe raise the price of Voice of the Blessed ever so slightly by putting a sick video out on it. That'd be cool too, I guess, maybe. I don't know. There are other things that I consider doing with this deck list. So, like, for example, I could play Sylvan Library and try to, like, drain myself a bunch of times with Sylvan Library and recoup the life and keep going with that. And I think that's kind of a cute idea. But I think you get to play, like, one cute thing, and I'm opting for Collected Company just because of, like, the ability to grind versus slower decks. I think the mana base is okay here. I have a lot of basic planes, and this is pretty close to a mono white deck. And I honestly could have built a mono white version of this very easily given the legacy card pool. I am running 1 forest so that I can fetch it out versus something like Delver that is a wasteland heavy deck. But generally speaking, I don't want to do that very much because I do have a white card that I care about and another one here. So I just want to make sure that I don't want to run multiple only green producing lands. There's some other things that I could do. Like I could run a Caracas over a Plains, for example, and I think that's pretty reasonable. But I think I'm just gonna opt to respect the power of basic lands just a little bit more and not go too deep down the utility land rabbit hole. So for example, I could run Caracas, I could run Gaia's Cradle, I could run one of the lands that produces creature tokens. Like, there's options here, but I'm kind of happy with what I'm looking at right now. It's just, I'm going to gain a bunch of life. What can you do about it? All right, let's go ahead and jump right into the league. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. It's a great way to support my content if you're enjoying the stuff that you're seeing here. And if you are a regular, throw me a like before we get started. It is the easiest way to support my content for free. Let's battle. Okay, let's see. I am on the draw here. I do not have a 1-drop, which is sort of a rarity for this deck. This hand isn't bad. It's just slow. I think I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan it, because I think I will end up with a hand of approximately the same quality most of the time. Am I gonna keep this with 2 draws to hit a land? Sure. I'll throw back 1 Ajani's Pridemate. I'm not like super stoked about this or anything, but I think with 2 draws to hit a land, I hit enough of the time that this is acceptable. Didn't hit this turn. We'll see if this works. It did. Verdant Catacombs might mean we're playing against some sort of blue mid-rangey deck. Let's start the Lifegain in. I will make very large creatures very quickly if I actually do get to start attacking. Or not attacking, deploying the cards in my hand. I'm gonna go ahead and attack into whatchamacallit, Icefang Coatl. Alright. Are these gonna be snow-covered basics? No, they are not. We are in bug colors, so we are. Okay. Alright, is my opponent just gonna like dress down into Uro and just get a 6/6 on turn 3? Alright. Sure. This is not a big deal if I hit a land drop. Like, it does not matter at all if I hit my land drop, which I did not. So accordingly, this sucks. But I will make a creature larger than this Uro in 2 turns. Like, this body is absolutely irrelevant for my deck. But I might just, like, not hit a land drop and die. Okay, sure. Alright, so my opponent has plenty of mana. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with that. Yield to these. Land. Alright, cool. So, I'm gonna just play the regular Ajani's Pridemate first over a Voice of the Blessed. Okay, we're doing the thing. It has begun. It is trigger time. Yeah. So as of next turn, this Pridemate will be bigger than Uro. Because, like, well, I guess as of next turn, it will be the same size as Uro, more accurately. I will turn it into a 6/6. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take this hit. As you can see, my life total is not going down very fast, despite the fact that I have gotten hit for 12 already. All right. Decay's rough. All right. Cannot cast that card yet. I will play Ajani's Pridemate, but better. There's some sort of like Ajani Pridemate at home joke going on here. I don't quite have the brain power at the moment to put it together. We'll have that figured out by the end of the league, though. Don't you worry. Bug decks aren't super popular right now. I wonder why. Yeah, hell yeah. I wonder why my opponent has chosen to play bug specifically. This is not meant as a criticism. Oh, Snuff Out. Okay. Sure. That was sort of wild. Yeah, I don't super care about this damage that I'm taking, despite the fact that I'm taking 9. Like, it hurts. Okay, I'm taking 10 this time. Oh, it's not holding back the Baleful Strix. That's fine. I will eat all of that. A counter spell here kills me. Like, I cast this turns into a 4/4 that can block this, but if my opponent counters, I'm basically dead. Okay, I'm not literally dead, but I think this is the point where I can realistically just go ahead and concede this one. That's fine. Got a little unlucky. Like, opponent had dressed down into Uro. I missed way too many draws in a row on a land. Generally speaking, how do I want to fight against Uro? I don't need to fight that hard. I can play some number of Swords to Plowshares and rest in peace. I am not going to max out and play all of them by any stretch of the imagination. I also do just have, like, Skyclaves. Skyclaves get, like, Uros and such out of the way. These are human clerics, right? Then this one is an elf shaman. This one's a human cleric. Yeah, okay. I feel like my Auriok champions are probably my worst ones because they're both 2 mana and they're a human for Plague Engineer, which I'm kind of expecting my opponent to play. I think I'm gonna play 2 Rest in Peace, 2 Swords to Plowshares, and call that good. This is another one-lander. This is another one-lander. I don't think I can just mulligan into Oblivion here. I'm running 21 lands, which I feel like is the appropriate number for this deck. Just getting a little unlucky here out of the gate. Say Levy. The game is going to drag on long enough that, like, if I miss a land drop, I miss a land drop. It is what it is. But I don't know. Okay, cool. I'll just play the good one here. In the worlds where this lives, it's better to just get this going now. And then I'll bash in for my 1. Opponent's at 18. Alright, we got Wasteland 2 over there. That's fine. That's a little less good for me. I'm gonna go ahead and split creature types here for Plague Engineer reasons. I was not expecting Wasteland from my opponent. Sure, ponder away. Opponent kind of has the rogue advantage here, where they're playing a not stock deck list, and so I don't know like what singletons and such I need to be. Oh wow, okay, sure. Yep, I need mana. We will have ones with different names, and let's yield to these. Get in there, friends. I am going to instantly have a large creature if I can get there. I also need to just like deploy this Rest in Peace soon, or Uro starts to become a concern. Yeah. Yep. That's frustrating. This is unhuman, so this is dead. Alright, I think I just lose this one. Plague Engineer is not a popular card right now. Yep. I'm just gonna lose this one to not drawing lands in either game. Say Livy. Like, I mulliganed looking for better hands, and I kind of, like, begrudgingly kept hands that had weaknesses, hoping to draw out of them. Alright. Interesting brainstorm timing. Might have been drawn off Uro. Yeah, okay, and I miss my land drop, so Uro gets to come into play, and I'm effectively dead. Alright, let's move on to the next round. Alright, we're mulliganing for not having lands. Okay, a reasonable hand. I rejoice. I'll keep this. I'm going to pitch a forest rather than a misty rainforest. This will get to thin 1 card from my deck, which has minimal impact on the game. But if I get wastelanded, that means that I still have access to white for both of these cards, which is the more important reason to keep it. Okay, Yavimaya from our opponent probably means, yep, some sort of land-based deck. Okay, so I am not loving the fact that I just have access to non-basic white mana currently. That is not good for me. I'll bash in for my 1. I get a large Voice of the Blessed next turn, assuming I don't get wastelanded again, and it will be able to, like, god damn it, to play around the Punishing Fire effects and whatnot. Yeah. Like, okay, that's a great draw. That means I can still Voice of the Blessed next turn and then, like, play it around Punishing Fire. That's fantastic. That's honestly exactly what I needed. Okay. Like, ow. Do I want to fetch here? I don't think I need to. No, I do want to fetch here. I want to play Voice of the Blessed while I still have access to white, because I could lose access to white here pretty easily. I'll lose both of these to Blast Zone. Possible I should have attacked first. But by doing it this way, my opponent has other stuff they want to do with their mana, like crop rotation. It means that they just can't. Alright. Here comes their 2 for 1. I am so dead to a Life from the Loam, by the way. Like, absolutely will snap concede to, like, a Life from the Loam that's drawn this turn. Alright. I will pick up an Auriok Champion. I get in for 2 damage. my damage... I don't... I cannot catch a break here. Yeah, I lose my scaling creature there. Absolutely brutal. Okay. Cool. I will outscale that, hopefully, in a couple of turns. This has been a series of rough... Come on! Like, it's just rude. It's just rude. I'll always yield to this. I'm not even gonna bother to attack and make my opponent click the Maze of Ith. Let's just save the clicks for everyone involved. Alright, yeah. So I have to just take these hits here. That's unfortunate. I mean, I guess, like, if you got another endurance, you got another endurance. I have to take some risks at some point. I will get my whopping 1 damage. These constructs coming in are going to grow my creatures. That's the good news. Bad news is kind of everything else that's going on here. Alright. I'll take my creature. And I will grow these. Always yield to that. Now I actually want my opponent to make the constructs, oddly enough. Because the constructs grow my creatures, and they're going to be larger than what my opponent has going on. Whereas currently their endurance is bigger than my Pridemate. Yeah, opponent is opting not to make their constructs because my stuff just gets better than theirs. I am going to... Do I want to fetch here? I don't care if this gets Pithing Needled. Yeah, because it still produces mana as of right now because of Yavimaya. So I'm not going to respond to this. My opponent might just get something like an Expedition map. A Pyrite Spellbomb. That is a red removal spell that works on this. Alright. Sure. Alright, they're just going to cycle immediately. I guess I need to trade for this. I don't really want to, but I can't just have this thing pecking at me forever. Alright. I'm going to lose my Pridemate. I'll be left with Voice of the Blessed. I'm gonna thin the deck here. I need to hit gas. The thinning is super marginal. Like, almost to the point of not mattering. Oh, shit. Let's go. I am in love with the Coco. Yeah. Let's take 1 Enabler and 1 Payoff card. A Soul, Warden, and an Ajani's Pridemate. Okay. Any order with the rest of those. Always yield to that. Put these on the stack. Maze of Ith slows me down considerably. I'm also not sure if I'm supposed to like attack with the Soul Wardens because of the existence of endurance that like I've already seen. Weird. Like I kind of need to get the show on the road and get my opponent dead because like they're a combo deck. They can draw a crop rotation and basically just kill me from here, right? I'm gonna bash in. We'll see what my opponent does. Yep, I expect my opponent to just take 5 here. They're at 32 as well. Alright, they're going for 2nd Maze of Ith, which kind of commits me further to attacking with creatures like Soul Warden, opening me up more for blowouts via Endurance. I also just have to worry about Life from the Loam for Blast Zone. Like, that's very much a thing that can happen. They wanted more mana here. That makes... Oh, no. Is it the Life from the Loam? Yeah, it's the Life from the Loam. Okay, I'm super dead to that. I'm just absolutely fucking dead to that. Like, they play Blast Zone, they kill my 2 Enablers, they Maze of Ith my 2 creatures that can attack. And, oh, wow. I'm super surprised to see Urza Saga being played over Blast Zone. I'm good with it. I'm just surprised. Jonka Shadow Spear. Trigger my beaters. And trigger. This duder is now flying and vigilant, for what it's worth. Battle. Yeah, so this is double Maze of Ith. My opponent takes 2. As expected. Opponent's down to 25. I need, like, a Heliod. A Heliod specifically allowing me to, like, gain a stupid amount of life. Yeah. Alright, pack it in? I feel like this is pack it in territory, because, like, These get Blast Zone, these get Maze of Ith, I deal 2 damage. My opponent has recursive Urza Saga tokens. I'm gonna go ahead and concede here. Like, I can see the writing on the wall. I would like Serenity. I would like Rest in Peace. Weird combo, but I'll allow it, I think. I would like Cathar Commando. I would probably like some number of Swords to Plowshares, probably not all of them. This is potentially too many cards. I don't know that I want this many. I'm probably going to board out the Auriok Champions. That's going to be my generic go-to card to cut. I feel kind of like I'm going to be like the raw beatdown deck here. My opponent is going to be a better control deck than I am. Maybe I'm not supposed to play Swords to Plowshares and like answer a Merit Lodge. Maybe I'm supposed to just like raw life gain through it via like Heliod. My opponent has access to a tutorable Karakas. That makes Tralasara a little bit worse than normal. I'm going to go ahead and cut one of those and call it good here. This is a reasonable mix of lands and spells. I will keep this. Notably, it gets to just play basics for the first 2 turns and then play Heliod. The Heliod is not going to immediately trigger life gain, but hopefully I can get a turn 4 Collected Company and then leverage that to do the stuff that I want to be doing. All right. Okay, the Pyrite Spellbomb, it does things. Next turn I can also just straight up Cathar Commando like an Urza's Saga or something. I want a Cathar Commando now, like more mana efficient. Might just get blown up by that Spellbomb if I play it out now, and I don't get to destroy an Urza Saga with it. This is less mana efficient, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take this line. And let's always yield to that. Crash on in. Opponent's at 19. I feel okay about the resources that I have to combat my opponent, but things can change very quickly. Alright, so now my opponent has red mana for activating the Spell Bomb. Okay. This can't get a basic, notably. I'm going to blow up my opponent's Urza Saga. So I'm not going to attack, because my opponent can make a Construct token here. Okay. So now I will Cathar Commando. It'll gain me 2 life. Yield to that. And blow up the Urza Saga. There's a world where I'm supposed to attack that Mox Diamond. But I think I'm just good doing what I just did here. Like, when Life from the Loam happens, it's awkward. But if I attack the Mox Diamond, my opponent can just get a new Mox Diamond out of their deck, assuming they have another land in hand, which it feels like it's pretty likely that they will. I will go back down to 21. That Wasteland's annoying. Means I don't get to Coco this turn. I really wanted to Coco. This has to fetch me a non-basic, unfortunately. I believe there's 2 of these effects that don't actually go and fetch me white. I believe there's a Verdant Catacombs and one other one. I also probably should have attacked before playing this out, because my opponent now knows it's safe to Pyrite Spellbomb one of these, because there's not something better coming. Okay. So there is the existence of the whole Punishing Fire combo here. I will play the card that I have drawn. I will eliminate a Mox Diamond here. I assume I lose one of my Wardens to this. Okay, I am losing this one. I think my opponent is supposed to just float the mana and not do it, though, until I start triggering the Heliod. Alright, so now I have an Essence Warden that plays around Punishing Fire, which is cool. So if I draw a land and get to Collected Company, it's great for me. Otherwise, I just gain 3 life and put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. Alright, opponent has access to... oh, do I want to trade? Yes, I do want to trade, I think. Decreases my devotion. But I'm good just taking this body off of the board and further buffing this creature. Alright. I think I'm just going to focus on the damage now. Go ahead and give this lifelink. Crash in for 5. I'm going to start working on this second creature. so that it can attack through other stuff as well. Opponent has... God damn it. Blast Zone is so insane against my deck. Just absolutely the ultimate counter to what I'm doing. My opponent has Blast Zone every turn now. I'm not ready to concede because I have multiple collected companies in hand. But like between recursive Wasteland, so I can't cast Collected Company, and recursive Blast Zone, so that the stuff that I get off of it is just dead. Like this is the end for me. I am not going to beat this. I'll try, but I just realistically don't think I can do this. Especially now, like Elvish Reclaimer tutors up any number of lands that then can be replayed, including just like getting the Merit Lodge and getting this game over with. Yeah. Alright, I think I'm pretty much ready to concede. Like, I am not gonna beat this. Actually, this is a very good land. So this is a land that just... my opponent can't really wasteland it, so I could spike another land next turn. Let's see if my opponent is just going for the Dark Depths. Just get the game over with. Yep, they are. I'm at 27, so I can buy a little bit of time, but I didn't board in Swords to Plowshares, because I thought the game was going to be over earlier. And, like, my opponent was basically one turn away from death when they found Blast Zone. Alright. I mean, let's draw a land for an insane Collected Company. Okay, I mean, I needed that. There is a chance. When do I do this? Now? Probably now. Let's spin the wheels. Alright. How do I win? I probably take this Skyclave and get rid of Crucible. And then I'm not really sure how I beat this Merit Lodge. I need to gain like 15 more life. That's not super realistic. I take a Soul Warden. Oh, the triggers. So any order with those. Get rid of Crucible, I guess. Like, the Elvish Reclaimer is also potentially problematic, but the Crucible scares me more. I'm going to start working on, or rather continue working on this Essence Warden. I need to make it big enough that I can gain just an absurd amount of life with it and get rid of some of the... not get rid of, offset some of the stuff that Merit Lodge is doing. Oh, do you just have Punishing Fire on top of all of this? Nope, okay, never mind. You do not. I saw a floating red mana there and I got scared. Alright. Do the thing. So you've got a floating mana now, so I assume this is Merit Lodge time. Yep. So I get to gain another life, put another counter here, and then do that again. I can gain 8 as of right now, next turn off lifelink. I might just be like spinning the wheels with Collected Company and hoping things work out. Okay, sure. Caracas isn't a threat. I will take that hit. Okay, so if I lifelink with Heliod, I go to 19. That doesn't do it. That means that I have to cast this Collected Company and do something insane that I haven't really figured out what it is yet. Kill my opponent is what it is. I Skyclave Apparition, Elvish Reclaimer. And then I can use Voice of the Blessed to block Merit Lodge if something goes wrong. Okay. Alright. Any order with those. Skyclave hits Elvish Reclaimer. What a fucking beating. So now I don't get the +1/+1 counters. Alright, opponent is floating red mana. And they have Punishing Fire. Okay, that's fine though, right? Because I'm still getting Reclaimer out of the way. I still have 8 power on board. So I think I'm fine. Yeah, I attack. That's still just lethal. Okay. Fuck Blast Zone, though. Do I want to play Swords to Plowshares? I could play 2 over Trusselaras. Play 2 over Trusselaras on the draw. Like, it also just gets Elvish Reclaimer out of the way. My creature density is still, like, 50%. I still have 30 creatures in my deck, even after boarding a few out. So I think I'm, like, fine as far as Collected Company is concerned. I have 21 lands in this deck. Like, Please? Okay. I like this. So now, I kind of have to play the odds, and, like, I get to decide to keep either Serenity or Swords to Plowshares. I'm gonna keep the Serenity. I think that it, like, there's so many worlds where it eats just, like, Urza Saga, and a Mox Diamond, and a Construct Token, and an Exploration. Like, there's so many worlds where I just absolutely savage my opponent by having Serenity. Now, my opponent has led on Mox Diamond Thespian stage, so they could just, like, you know, get me this turn or something like that. You know, stranger things have happened. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ancient Tomb, float 2 mana, Mox Diamond, turn Ancient Tomb into Idiot, kill me, is, like, a thing that could happen right here. And I get super punished for throwing back Swords to Plowshares over Serenity. Alright, you're at 19. I am going to attempt to kill this Mox Diamond. And we'll see if I am just dead this turn instead. Don't do it. Alright, 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 yep. Alright, fine, fine. Alright, I have kept my opening hand here. I have a Lifegain Enabler to start off. I have 2 payoff cards to start off. This is fine. Alright, Ponder, you come up here. That goes up there. I really dislike the non-Windswept Heath green fetches. Not being able... Oh, never mind. Not being able to grab a basic is a little rough. I think if I am going to play the forest, I do need to have some number of those fetches. I honestly think I just need to be playing, like, 1 more land in this deck. Okay. So, what am I doing with this fetch? Am I grabbing green? Or am I just grabbing white? I think I'll grab the green. Like, I have a green card. I'll just cast it this turn. I think I am fine with doing so, and trying to use the Scry this turn. Okay, my opponent is responding. How will you respond? A daze, sure. Then I will crash in for 1. I still have a bunch of Lifegain payoff cards in hand, so, like, I'm good with this. I'm not vulnerable to Wasteland yet, which is the good news. Oh yeah, dash away. Man, my opponent can get a bunch of really annoying things out of my deck, though. Like, yeah. They can just get a bunch of Lifegain cards of their own, which ends up being pretty awkward for me. So, I'm going to play the thing that lets me block Ragavan on my opponent's turn. It's possible that just getting the Heliod into play sooner is better, though. Alright, and let's go ahead and yield to all these triggers. Crash in for 1. Oh, okay. The lightning bolt happens now. Not a fan of that wasteland, obviously. So, dash Ragavan happens. I take a little damage. I don't super care about the Ragavan unless it does something like that, yeah. I am so looking forward to this card being gone. Just absolutely tired of it. Yeah, not a fan of what's going on here. I probably need to just play this, get this 2/2 out of the way, and then start being able to block the Ragavan. But no, it's fine. I've only played like 4 creatures, and I haven't been able to stop this thing from connecting. All right. When do I cast this? I think I cast it now, because if my opponent has a Force of Negation, I want them to, like, pitch a card in order to cast it. Okay. Which way do I want to do this? I don't think I need to Skyclave the Skyclave. I think I would rather just get my cards going and, like, doing the things that my deck is designed to do. I don't think I need to remove the 2/2. All I need to do is get this Voice of the Blessed to a 4/4 so that it's larger. So that it's larger than a Lightning Bolt. And then I don't have to worry about my opponent's removal anymore. Alright. I cannot overstate how much of all of it my opponent has right now. This is rough. Alright. So my opponent also gets an Essence Warden. Alright, Ragavan bounces to hand. At least I know that this shit resolves this time. Yeah. I will gain life faster than you. Now, I'm just gonna, like, uninstall Magic Online if my opponent rips Lightning Bolt as their top card. That's Lightning Bolt with extra steps. Alright, they found a Delver. That's fine. This Pridemate is now absolutely huge. Okay. I don't know if you were supposed to ponder, like, prior to playing that Delver. Okay. Order of operations. I think I play Auriok Champion this turn, even though it's less mana efficient. I think I just need to grow this creature. And I'm going to hold this back for right now. I don't super care about my opponent attacking me for 3 with a Delver. Alright, they found another expressive iteration. That's a little rough. The thing that currently beats me is like a Murktide Regent. Yeah. That's fine. Do I want to play around Days? I think long-term I need more gas than what I have now. Yeah, this is a fantastic draw. That thing is going to fly. Yeah, I'll take that 3. This is great. So go ahead and cast the Voice of the Blessed. Always yes to that. Always yield to that. Do these things. Yield to this. It's trigger time. I think I go ahead and attack with this. It's a lot of damage. Don't think I can casually miss 6 damage. Okay. Yeah. So that re-triggers my creatures and now puts Voice of the Blessed outside of Lightning Bolt range. I don't know if I like that chump block from my opponent. So the big thing that beats me is Murktide Regent. That's something that can reasonably be larger than my Voice of the Blessed. Alright, yep, I take that. It takes 4 counters to turn this into a flyer, so I'm not there yet. Really? Okay, 3 mana. What are you doing? Okay, yeah, alright, it is Murktide Regent. Alright. So, am I going to be larger than Murktide Regent come my turn? Probably. So, as long as Heliod resolves, I am, that is. Like, I do this triggers my shit. And Heliod will just go on Voice of the Blessed. We'll just kind of go all in on this creature. Alright, this is a 7/7 with Vigilance. So I can attack with this. I also can attack with this as a 9/9. Yeah, good shit. Oh shit, I did not count. Alright, I just absolutely punted this game. I thought I had one more set of triggers than I did. I thought I was going to be a 9/9. Alright. What would my next draw have been? Junk. Yeah, I just fucked that up. I had a very real chance of winning that game, and I just punted. My 3rd Magic League that I have played in a row today. Not using that as an excuse, but that's what's up. Okay, how do I want to board? Let's assume that Coco is too bad versus the Days deck, and board out those. The rest of the stuff is pretty reasonable. Auriok Champion is pro-red and everything, but I don't know that I need to have all 4 of those. This is a reasonable hand that is a little bit vulnerable to Wasteland. I'm going to keep it. I was just confirming that I did actually have 21 lands in my deck. Alright. Dude, go. Alright. Surprise, surprise, Volcanic Island. I am glad not to see a threat on turn 1. Alright, I did not draw a 1-drop, so I can't just go double 1-drop to play around Days to the best of my possible ability. I think I am going to play Auriok Champion this turn. Auriok Champion contributes 2 white devotion towards Heliod. I don't super care if this gets dazed. And if I can make it so that I can play Tresselara and turn her into a 4/4 immediately, that's pretty ideal for me, so I play around Lightning Bolt. They're still dead gone, but, you know. Okay. That was a long tank into Force of Will pitching the expressive iteration. I mean, I'm happy to get those 2 cards out of my opponent's hand. Sure. Ooh, okay. No, they do have more lands. Okay. This is the, like, decide to play around Days, get screwed sort of situation that everyone who plays Legacy is super used to. Like, I can either play around Days, and just lose out on an absolutely huge amount of tempo, or not. I am going to opt to not play around days here. I think I gotta get this show on the road. Yield. My opponent has randomly floated a blue. I will keep a Voice of the Blessed. I will yield to this one. Yep. That can stay. This brainstorm timing and the floating of the blue mana in that way makes no sense. But I attacked a flying creature into a Murktide region that was bigger, so I don't get to talk. No, I did not expect my opponent to want to trade there. There's the punish for me keeping the white card in my deck and having a forest. Sure. I'm just going to play this pre-combat out of laziness. Opponent goes down to 14. I have something that plays around Lightning Bolt. I'm not good against a Murktide Regent currently. Yeah. What are we looking at with my Scry? A land is great. We'll put that on top. Fucking really? I am so tired of this fucking Delver deck. I hope it is banned. Some piece of this deck is banned by the time this video goes live. There's a reason why I've been posting so many modern videos recently. This deck is so goddamn good. Alright, yeah, I'll take this hit. See what you have going on here. Sure. Tutor. 5. My opponent closes this game faster than I do. Not by much, but faster. Like, essentially, I'm on a 1-turn clock and my opponent's on a 2-turn clock. I need to gain quite a few points of life. Well, fewer now. Sure. Alright. Yeah. This does not currently fly. I need to have some counters on it. So I am just dead to that Murktide Regent. GG's. Alright, I have a pretty great looking opening hand here. Like, I just have a good mix of life gain enablers. I have a life gain payoff card, and I have an answer to an opposing threat. Alright, we are so we're probably playing against Espervile. And holy hell are my creatures going to trigger in this matchup. Although we could also be playing against like a Cephalid Breakfast deck. We'll probably figure out very, very quickly which one of those I am playing against. Spirit? Are we legit playing against spirits? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good old-fashioned creature fight. This Ajani's Pridemate is going to become huge. I think I need to play it here. Like, I'm playing it into a daze, but that just is what it is. Alright. I will not trade Soul Warden for a Spirit of the Labyrinth here. Absolutely not. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so big right now. Go get him, cat soldier friend. Yeah. I'm going to play Soul Warden into Soul Attendant on my next turn. And just kind of go ham. Okay. That thing flies, so I do not have anything to say about that damage there. Go ahead and do this. And this. Alright. And sorry. I have some background noise at this time. Somebody just showed up to do maintenance at my house, but my girlfriend's taking care of it. Battle? Yeah, I think I just battle. There, no. Okay, sorry. I am no longer distracted. Got everything worked out on my end. So I think I'm going to gain enough life here that I'm not super worried about the damage that my opponent can do to me. I would love to draw a land and Skyclave Apparition this Ether Vial to stop some of the shenanigans that can happen. I'm not super sure about like the exact features of my opponent's current deck. Oh, Lilia's a spirit. That's dope. Okay. Yes. This Ajani's Pridemate is huge. This is a temporary until end of turn buff. Alright. Venerable Warsinger. When it deals combat damage to a player, you can return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, okay. That's pretty dope. Yeah, I just think I let that damage happen. This doesn't trample or anything, right? Oh, no, it does. Vigilance and trample. Huh. Opponent's deck list is cool. I absolutely... Oh my god. I absolutely respect it. Yes. Okay. Yep. I have a 14/14 Catman. And it is only going to get bigger. Let's put all these triggers on the stack. And now let's always yes and always yield to this. Oh. Oh, I on F6'd or whatever. Okay. This is a 17/17 creature. It's just going to kill my opponent in one hit. I don't want this to get in. I'm fine if I take 2 in the air. I think I just wait this one out. I think the long game favors me here. If this thing didn't have trample, it would be a different story. But like, this is a creature mirror. I'm gonna gain just absolutely so much life. Oh, neat. That thing's not even legendary. That's cool. Yes. 21/21. Yeah, I'll take some damage in the air. That's fine. Yep. Yep. Yeah, because I am going to gain at least as much life as my opponent is doing via these flyers every turn. I'm good with where things stand. I could also just like put my opponent in the abyss by attacking with the Ajani's Pridemate, but I don't know that I actually need to do that. Whee! One also has spirit guides to accelerate things out. That's kind of cool. I mean, I guess if you have things like Lilia and Venerable Warsinger, it makes sense. I wonder... Applegeist. Oh no! Opponent does not have 4 different card types in their graveyard, but like, that's a very real thing right now. Okay, all right. So there's triggers. All right. I need some stuff. Yeah. Okay. I don't really care about the Spirit of the Labyrinth coming back from the graveyard or anything. Yeah, that's fine. Lilia, play or cast. You may play. All right. You're pro red. I'll use you to soak up 3 damage. Actually, if they return Spirit of the Labyrinth, that means that there's only one type card. Oh my god. Just all right. Yes. This is a large cat. All right, cool. All right, nice. So let's go Savannah, and then I will play one of these, and this thing will eat the Topplegeist, I guess. Like, that thing's annoying long term. Yeah, like, at this point, all I'm looking to do is just, like, draw another land, Coco, hit a couple of different things that I can attack with, and go from there. Sure. Gonna give your stuff, like, hexproof or something? I can't even tell what went in. Drog Skull Captain. Yield to that. Do they have hexproof? Alright, you're... Magic as Garfield intended. Nods. Alright, my cat's just gonna hang out, I think. Also, I can just hit a Heliod at some point and then attack with Heliod once. And, or rather, like, get lifelink from Heliod once, and I think gaining 50 life is effectively a game over. My opponent's got, like, a decent amount of damage in the air. I'm not super worried about it, though, as insane as that is. Just, like, shrug it off. We're in a creature mirror. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different life gain enablers in play. Should I do this on my opponent's turn? Maybe I do it now, because there's some worlds where I end up attacking here. Here we go. Aww. Forgot about that. Alright. We chill. There's one more of these. That's counter unless I pay 2. Venerable Warrior bringing that back is actually kind of cute. There's more synergy here than I initially gave this credit for. Okay, opponent is opting to just give up the Lilia for a new random card off the top of their deck. Okay, yeah. Alright, you have found a Spirit of the Labyrinth. Actually, I guess I want to kill this rather than Lilia, huh? I can just chump block Lilia without any trouble. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so combat damage occurs. Yeah, what do you have? Is that nothing? That was nothing. I respect the juke. And we're just gonna let the triggers do their things. So I will play a Skyclave. I am just gonna go ahead and eat the Drogskull Captain. I know the Mausoleum Wanderer is currently like kind of annoying and everything, but I don't want my opponent to get two Drogskull Captains and then make their stuff hex-proof. That's just kind of a nuisance for me. Also a little silly that I haven't drawn one of the other, like, what is it, 15 other Lifegain payoff cards. Because all I need is one more, and then I can play Sword and Shield very well. Okay, we're going to combat. Seems like my opponent is trying to put an enchantment into the graveyard for Topplegeist-based reasons. That's fair. I mean, I'll bite. I'll absolutely make those trades here. Okay. Sure. Like, this is still absolutely fine for me, because, like, this still dies in combat. So that's fine. Alright. Here is what I've been looking for. This is my second life gain payoff card. And it is about to become fucking huge and obnoxious. Alright. Always yield to that. Try, land goes to bottom. And I'm going to have to repeat this process a bunch. Land goes to bottom. And voice can stay on top. This is now getting a little absurd in terms of trigger management. Okay, now everything's like said and done. I even need to start attack. I don't even think I need to start attacking. I think I have such insane inevitability that I just wait this out. I am at 52 life. Yeah. Okay, what do I want in this creature mirror? Honestly, my deck is probably just built to beat my opponent's deck. I can consider some number of Swords to Plowshares to just, like, stop the early initial front that can kill me. Yeah, I think as long as I don't lose the game super early on to an aggressive start, I just win this. I'm going to board in 3 Swords to Plowshares for Collected Company. What about Cathar Commando? Nah. I think I just need to make it so that I don't die super early. But I don't want to lower my creature density too much, especially if I'm boarding out Collected Companies. Yeah, this is fine. I have 2 life gain creatures and 2 payoff cards, so like that's already a little more balanced than what I had last time around. Oh, that's a Spirit Guide into a Supreme Phantom. Sure. Savannah? Thanks, Savannah. I don't think I want a basic forest here. Alright. We have a second Supreme Phantom. That's a decent amount of aerial power. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch a new Savannah here. Now, which one of these do I want to play? A little awkward that this wasn't one of the ones with a white mana symbol for Heliod. I think I'm going to play Trellisara since she scries. And let's see what I'm looking at. A Swords to Plowshares. That's fantastic. I'll absolutely top that. Because that means that next turn I can actually cast 2 spells. I can cast a Swords to Plowshares and then like an Ajani's Pridemate or an Auriok Champion. Not sure which one I'm going to be looking at doing as of right now. Sure. Okay, yeah, like I've already put that on top. I'm already good with it. All right, Lilia is a spirit, so she becomes a 4/4 for this turn. I think I just take this hit. 4/4, 5. Oh, 5/5 after the attack. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's fine. Like this is a lot of damage. Yeah, I need to do this. Voice of the Blessed. How do I feel about that? I like it. It's something that will eventually fly. I think in case my opponent has a second Lilia, I don't attack here. Or rather, I don't Swords to Plowshares immediately. Do I attack? I think I will attack. Like, this is going to be a race in all likelihood. Where, like, I see if my Trellisara beats out what my opponent is doing. Ooh, yeah. Okay, now that I know that another Lilia can't come in, I'll just go ahead and junk that. That was a pretty big and strange life swing turn. Alright. So I'll play this Voice of the Blessed. I should be able to get 4 counters on it next turn so that it, like, flies and has Vigilance, and then shuts down this stuff. And I'll take my 2 damage. I guess there's some flyer or some spirits with flash that I have to respect. Maybe that attack wasn't great. All right, what are we looking at? A Drog School Captain. Okay, so my opponent's creatures are hexproof, but now this is just huge. It is flying and vigilant. Dope. Heliod time? I actually don't think it's Heliod time. I'll just do that next turn. I think I just want to get all this stuff going. Then do this. Get a second scaling creature in play. Absolutely. So this is insane when it works and I actually start doing my thing. Yeah. Absolutely fine with the attack here. This is vigilance. Just disgusting. Swords to Plowshares me. I'll gain 11 and make the Ajani's Pridemate bigger. Frostling? Oh my gosh. It's adorable. So this is now indestructible, by the way. Just throwing it out there that that's a thing. This is an obscene number of counters on these creatures. I love it. And I'm gonna make it like worse with Heliod. Yeah, alright, so my opponent is leaving back the whole crew. Let's fetch. Grab Savannah. Play Heliod. And I'm gonna start making one of these large. I will randomly choose Auriok Champion because it already has protection from let's save targets for right now and always yield. I'm gonna skip over the intermediate steps and just show you what the board like is when this all resolves, because this is actually that wasn't so bad. Okay. Attack with you. Attack with you. I don't need to attack with the 4/4. Okay, looks like my opponent is officially in chump block territory. They are at 5 life. Next turn. Alright, we have gotten the GGs. Next turn I was going to give Voice of the Blessed some lifelink and like gain 40 or so life. Alright, I am glad that we got to do the thing once in this league, because we have gotten bullied thus far. I think we're 1-4. Okay. I don't have a payoff, but I think I'm gonna just keep this hand rather than mulligan, and kind of hope that I am playing against a fair deck where I have time to kind of draw into a scaling threat. I have, I think, 16 of them. So, like, I'm gonna be 16 at. Oh yeah, we're gonna have time here. Okay. Oh, that was a prismatic ending. So this is not Death and Taxes. This is just a control deck that has randomly started on Caracas instead. Sure. Okay. So I will play my 2 enablers here. And then I probably realistically have 3 or 4 turns to draw a payoff card before I'm in any real danger of, like, losing the game. The big thing I'm worried about is a sweeper from my opponent. Underground Sea Caracas? Oh, that's kind of wild. Some sort of Stoneblade deck? Those sorts of decks aren't super popular right now, though. I mean, that's going to be my working theory until this is proven otherwise, but not super sure what the details of my opponent's deck are going to be. Battle. You're at 18. I guess I'm kind of well. Okay, sure. I'm potentially well suited at, like, beating things like Baleful Strix because I do have pro-black creatures. Okay. Just a little bit of everything. Abrupt Decay, one of these. Witherbloom command. Self-milling. I guess I need to cycle this, like, draw a new card here. Okay, I mean, this is literally exactly what I'm looking for, so that's great. There Wasteland in this greed pile too? I think I don't play around Wasteland. It's potentially just too important to hit. Alright, Alright. It's potentially just too important to hit something like a collected company later on in this game. I'll bash in for 1. So my opponent had Swords, Witherbloom, Command, Prismatic Ending thus far. That has dampened a lot of what I have going on. And I also have to worry about my opponent just having access to fucking Plague Engineer. I'm just going to bash in for 1. I'm not just going to play these out as naked 2/2s. My opponent self-milled with a Witherbloom command, which makes me, like, be thinking about, like, Uro and things of that nature. Okay, that's a Tundra. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? 4? I mean, this is why I held these instead of playing these as naked 2/2s. That's fine. The opponent basically needs Force plus blue card, or I just take out Jace here. And I am going to attempt to just immediately take out Jace. Can't catch a break. Cannot catch a break here. Just gonna attack them. I'm gonna Skyclave again next turn. And hopefully that answers the Jace. Okay, this thing is just straight going Fate Sealing instead of Brainstorming, which is super weird to me. Okay, is your last card a Force of Will that you are going to hardcast? I mean, we'll find out, I guess. I'm not going to play around a Daze, given what my opponent has showed me. I'm just going to kind of take optimal sequencing for... Yeah, that's fine. Now I'm way ahead. Because I get to just, like, remove this Jace the Mind Sculptor. My opponent opted to Fate Seal rather than Brainstorm. Now, my opponent has plenty of removal spells in their deck, so they can potentially just, like, rip 1, remove Skyclave, and make things very awkward for me. I probably can't attack with a Trussolara for a few turns. My opponent likes whatever they just found. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's an awkward card for me for right now. I don't think I'm gonna super care about that long term, though. Let's cycle this. Right. Now? I think now. Because there's some worlds where I end up attacking this turn. How do I want to do this? I think I want this Heliod in play. I'm going to grab Essence Warden Heliod here. Alright, good stuff. And now I'll just kind of chill. Caracas makes my life awkward as far as the Trusselaras go. I don't know if I'll actually be boarding out any of these, though. Because, like, they still hit like a truck. The scrying is still good. An hour later. There's so many worlds where the Heliod attacks if I do this now. Show me a force effect. You did not. This will be a Soul Warden, and unfortunately a Trussolara that's just going to end up back in my hand. But this stuff is going to trigger my creatures like mad. Okay, yep. Trussolara gets bounced. That's fine. I don't know that my opponent played this turn optimally, right? Like, these Lifegain triggers are on the stack now, and Heliod is now no longer a creature, so I still get to trigger on this stuff. So I'm going to do this in a way where these creatures now are out of range of a Plague Engineer. This also doesn't have Death Touch. Go ahead and put this here. Do I want to play around Endurance? No. I'll take this attack. I maybe should have not played around Plague Engineer and turned this into a 4/4 to play around Endurance as well. Yeah, I got punished for that. Sure. Oh, but my opponent's not going to get a 4/4, though. So... Avoiding that 4/4 is actually kind of big game. Yeah, but I wish I had put a counter on the Soul Warden and then put one on the Skyclave as well. Although this is a Plague Engineer, I'm like, oh, it's a Prismatic Ending. Sure. Okay. Yeah. So this is something that is going to be able to attack through a Baleful Strix eventually. And I will play a Trussolara. And I will do this whole Lifegain shenanigan stuff. Yield to those. My opponent needs to bounce the Trussolara right here so that I don't get to scry. That's fine. There's a world where I end up just, like, straight up decking my opponent because they can't do enough damage to easily kill me. Especially if I end up, like, playing around Plague Engineers. Yeah, sure. I'll take that. And now there's this question of, like, do I play around another endurance? Ooh, nice. I play this, it becomes absolutely massive. Yes, 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 yes. Alright, my opponent's done with my shit. Alright, what do I want against this bug deck? I probably want Swords to Plowshares and Rest in Peace. Well, I can't really call it a bug deck. Like, there's white in there too, but this feels very much like a bug deck. My opponent has Planeswalkers, so I can't really get rid of Skyclaves. I assume that Uros are in my opponent's deck. I know my opponent has access to Arrakis. I'll probably trim, but not get rid of Trelasara. Auriok champions are slow in this matchup, but they are good against Baleful Strix, which is like very much a thing that I care about. And honestly, Trelasara just getting bounced is not that big of a deal, because I can just like use it to re-trigger all my life gain idiots. Yeah, all my cards are reasonable. Like, I don't want to shave the collected companies, those are good. I don't want to shave any of the cards that grow. I don't want to shave the Skyclaves. My life gain enablers are important to the rest of the deck works. I think I'm just going to cut Tressalaras and play 2 Swords to Plowshares, 2 Rest in Peace. I didn't see Uro, but I'm very, very, very much assuming that Uro is in my opponent's deck. My opponent used Witherbloom Command and milled themselves, so like I feel pretty confident about that fact. I also straight up could just play 4 Swords to Plowshares. Maybe I'll just do that. Like it's less of a mana investment. And in a lot of worlds, I shouldn't actually have to answer 2 different Uros in a game before my opponent is dead. I am not going to play around Wasteland here, and I'm going to play Essence Warden because I want to be less bad against an early Plague Engineer. I'm just going to grab Savannah and play Essence Warden. Okay, it's resolved. So no initial Swords to Plowshares from my opponent. I might just eat a Prismatic Ending here, though. Yep. Alright, I will just kind of use my mana efficiently here and just play out an Auriok champion. Some of my attacks early on, before my creatures are larger than an endurance, are like super awkward. My opponent is getting the 2-for-1. Nope. Okay, yeah, Strix is fine. Like, I get to just attack through that. Yes. Oh. Opponent did not hit their 3rd land drop. I don't think I want to overextend into Plague Engineer before my opponent has had a chance to play it. So I am just going to play a Voice of the Blessed here. And then try to grow that to a reasonable size next turn. Alright, that is Force pitching Uro. Pretty happy to just get that out of the way. Get a little love tap in there for 1. Okay, so opponent is not making a land drop here. Unless they hit it off Baleful Strix. Yeah, they did not. That's pretty good for me. Okay. Again, to best play around the Plague Engineer that is quite good against me currently, I am just going to slam this Heliod right now. Because if I can get some counters on some of these 1/1 creatures, I don't actually lose out on that much. But I have 3 1/1 humans right now that I have to be concerned with. And, like, Plague Engineer is very real. That's fine. Okay. Let's start doing the thing. I do wish that I had access to triple white this turn. Okay, that's a Source to Plowshares. That's fine. That one just has to go on Heliod. Then I play a new one. Okay, yeah, I mean, Brainstorm away. I get to attack with Heliod next turn, which is cool. Alright. Let's yield to that. And I will put a counter on one of these. So now Plague Engineer is just 1-for-1. I do wish I had a 3rd white mana so that I could Source to Plowshares as well. This means that some of my creatures, my opponent's creatures like Uro and Endurance, come with real downsides now. Prismatic Ending could answer my Heliod and kind of leave me in a crappy situation. I'm trying to save these Skyclaves for a real card. I don't just want to hit a Baleful Strix. I want to hit something that's much more impactful. In Uro, a Plague Engineer or something like that. So let's do this. And again, I'm not trying to turbo my way through this game. I am trying to not lose this game to cards that my opponent could reasonably have. I could consider using a Swords to Plowshares on one of my opponent's creatures as of, like, this turn. Prismatic Ending. That's fine. Since I have 3 removal spells in hand, I think I will go ahead and fire off one of these for mana efficiency and get one of these out of the way. I can never really, like, play my last removal spell, but if I keep drawing like this, I can put my opponent on a 3-turn clock and get Baleful Strix out of the way. Absolutely. I don't really want to lose a creature to a Swords to Plowshares here. Like, Swords to Plowshares on Skyclave and then a 2-2 trades with one of these. But I think I just got to get the show on the road. I have answers to my opponent's Haymakers. I don't have a closer. Okay, my opponent does have Wasteland in the greed pile over there. I mean, I made the intentional choice not to play around that earlier in the game, so that's fine. Do I attack into Endurance? I can take some really bad losses this turn. If my opponent plays Endurance, they block Skyclave, they take 6, they make a 2-2, and I don't get super aggro here. Do I chill? Seems weird. I feel pretty far ahead. I think I'm gonna chill. Like, I am not anywhere in danger of dying. I am not anywhere in danger of my board being wiped. Like, if we just have turns where we're both, like, going draw go, I think I'm fine with that. And any turn where my opponent actually uses a meaningful amount of mana on their turn, I end up pretty far ahead. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill here. Maybe this is crazy, but I don't want to lose this one at the last minute to, like, just getting too greedy when I'm right at the finish line. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary might imply something like Terminus. That's a real concern. Right, they're just going for a Swords to Plowshares. That's fine. Press down, leaves. Oh shit, why did I play that? I guess I'm trying to just get 10 or so power that I can just kill my opponent with in one turn. Yeah, that was bad. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Let's just wait for Shark Typhoon. An Endurance with a random floating mana. That's fine. Yeah, I'd already been playing around this. Opponent kind of like finally gave up and just cast it. They Endurance their cards back into their own deck. That's fine. So I know my opponent now has a Swords to Plowshares. I'll cast this, I'll take this Endurance out of the way, and gain a whole bunch of life. If my opponent Swords to Plowshares, they can make a 2-2 or a 3-3. Yeah, let's just wait. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have to give you these bodies. Like, I can just wait till I have a flyer or some other, like, meaningful thing. And I'm at 50 life. Yeah. So let's just, like, do this. This creature is now absolutely huge. Yeah, I'm fine with calling this a turn cycle. I can cycle this Horizon Canopy at the end of my opponent's turn. They trade that off. I'm at 60 life. I still have an answer to a Jace. And I have so many just absolutely brutal rips, especially Heliod. Heliod is the card that just, like, ends this in a single turn. This does take me off of a Collected Company, but I think that's fine. Yeah, see, there we go. And I've played this in a way where not just dead to any one thing. Kind of start spreading the love here. Actually, no, I'm just gonna invest heavily in Auriok Champion. Yeah, okay, Auriok Champion is a 5/5. Yeah, this can just go ahead and attack in. I can potentially attack with more creatures, because, like, if my opponent flashes in creatures, it's not really a big deal. Because I will just re-trigger Lifegain and then, like, do the Heliod thing again. Okay, opponent's just going to 5 here. That's fine. Yep. So now I go and put all these on the stack. I get to spread this damage out even more. Now I think I'm just going to diversify. And maybe put the last one over here. Yeah, opponent's at 4. I have many, many, many lethal attackers. Okay, sure. You have a Jace. What would you like to do with it? Okay, that's fine. I don't imagine my opponent is staying alive here. Some weird things can happen. But I think if I play 2 creatures, which increases my devotion count, and then, like, puts a bunch of counters on these things, I don't really think I can lose. Or maybe, I think I'm good, is what I'm getting at. Make all of these at least 4/4s. Play an Ajani's Pridemate. This is the most conservative game of Soul Sisters that I've ever played. Put some on this Skyclave so that it lives. Yes. I'll put one over here. I think I'm past the point where I super have to think about this. Put one on this Auriok Champion so it lives through a Plague Engineer if that becomes something that matters. Attack you. I have a billion different lethal attackers. Do your thing. Alright, yep. Yes. Don't even know where these are going anymore. I think I'm very far in the, like, this doesn't really matter territory. Alright, yes. I'll click on some random creatures. Brain's very much dead here, by the way. This is my third league of the day. Yeah, each one of these is a lethal body. So there needs to be a fatal push in addition to everything else here that's going on. There is not. Okay. We end up with 2-3 in the league. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Okay. The league didn't go super well. I really feel like I needed one more land in this deck list. Like, maybe that one land doesn't make a huge difference, but I thought 21 was going to be my sweet spot. I think that's what I ran in Modern. It feels like it needed 22. I liked what was here. It just didn't always work out. Like, there's the games where I could cast my stuff and I did my thing were incredibly powerful, and the games where I couldn't, like, I just died with 6 cards in my hands. So if I were to play this again, I would probably cut an Auriok Champion for a land as my starting point, and run another league with it, see how it feels with one more land. As far as the rest of the deck goes, I feel like I had reasonable answers to the things that were going on, and I felt like I was very fair, very good in the fair matchups, which is what I wanted to do. We were fine against fair blue. We were fine against, like, the other creature aggro deck. Like, we did get got by Delver, but, like, obvious best deck in format is obvious best deck in format and whatnot. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing or liking the video if you haven't already. Those sorts of things help me out for free and cost you nothing. Have a great rest of the day, and if you end up wanting to try this one out, check out the video description for the deck list or my donation information if you want to get one of your own decks on the channel. See ya!